Facebook email is going away, in case you notice. Check your Facebook mail lately? Didn't think so. Apparently not many others did either. So after 3+ years, the world's largest social media outlet is pulling the plug on its little-used email service, the company confirmed Tuesday. We are making this change because most people haven't been using their Facebook email address, and we can focus on improving our mobile messaging experience for everyone, Facebook said in a statement. For those who do have a Facebook mail account, messages will be forwarded to the primary email address listed in the user's account, the company said. The changes are planned to roll out in March, and users can turn off that forwarding option if they prefer not to have their personal inboxes flooded with these messages. It's a little bit of bowing to the inevitable, said Justin Lafferty, editor of the trade site Inside Facebook. The email addresses, which showed up as messages for Facebook users, never took off, and when Facebook tried to make them the default email accounts for all users in mid-2012, a lot of people were unhappy with that, he said. It was kind of rolled out to everyone regardless of what they wanted, Lafferty said. With last week's $19 billion acquisition of WhatsApp, the fast-growing messaging service, Facebook is focusing more on mobile messaging than email these days. Facebook ventured into the email field November 2010, aiding the service to messaging system already used heavily by its 1.2 billion users. CEO Mark Zuckerberg said at the time that the system would complement, not compete, with entrenched email giants such as Google, Yahoo, and Microsoft. We don't expect anyone to wake up tomorrow and say, I'm going to shut down my Yahoo account or my Gmail account and switch exclusively to Facebook. But we do expect a shift to more real-time communication, he said. Lefty said the reversal is unlikely to be remembered in the company's annals, much like the service itself. Many people probably weren't even aware of the change, he said. California couple strikes gold after finding $10 million in rare coins. A husband and wife are reveling in their good fortune after finding $10 million in rare gold coins buried on their property in Northern California. This gold country discovery is thought to be the largest of its kind in U.S. history, according to David Hall, co-founder of professional coin guarding service, which authenticated the find. It's quite a story. People were walking along on their property in Northern California, noticed something, began digging, and they found cans of gold coins, Hall said. It should have happened to you and me. The incredible find. The coins were unearthed in February 2013 by the husband and wife who wished to remain anonymous. They were walking their dog when they spotted something shiny on the ground. The couple dug and eventually discovered 8 metal cans containing more than 1,400 gold coins. No one knows how they got there or whom the coins might have belonged to. Somebody could have buried them and then died before they let anybody know where they were, Hall said. Believe it or not, I know cases where they forgot they had something or they moved or whatever. It could have been some kind of robbery deal, who knows? The treasure is known as the Saddle Ridge hoard because it was discovered near a hill the couple called Saddle Ridge. In their effort to stay anonymous, the husband and wife aren't saying exactly where the fortune was found. The coins. The coins in US $5, US $10, and US $20 denominations date from 1847 to 1894. Most were minted in San Francisco. They have a combined face value of about 27,000 US dollars, but experts believe they could fetch 10 US million or more. Many are in pristine condition, including at least 14 coins that are considered the finest known for their date and mine mark. A highlight from the hoard is an 1866 no mortal double eagle valued at close to 1 US million. The couple is planning to sell much of the collection. Approximately 90% of the coins will go up on Amazon.com's collectible site, according to Don Cajun of Cajun's Company, who is assisting the anonymous owners. He told CNN the couple wants to donate some of the proceeds to charity. Basically, they are thankful that, and they think it's wonderful that they are going to be able to save their property that they thought they might lose again. And they want to give back to the community to needy people, he said. Collectors wanting a sneak peek can see some of the coins at the American Numismatic Association's 2014 National Money Show in Atlanta, which opens Thursday. Unlike others' hoards and treasures, this one includes a great variety of coins stuck over many different years, and many of the coins are still in pristine condition, Cajun said. And add to that a wonderful human interest story. This family literally found a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Miami artist destroys 1 million Ai Weiwei vase in protest. He's been photographed dropping vases before, but that doesn't mean it's okay for just anyone to do it. Ai Weiwei has made a name for himself by not only creating visually arresting and thought-provoking art, but for his uncompromising activism in opposition to the Chinese government. I was on the receiving end of a protest this weekend when a local Miami artist smashed a color basis vase valued at 1 million. Part of the artist's, according to what, exhibition at the Perez Art Museum Miami in the city. The exhibition also included photographs of the Chinese artist dropping what appears to be a Han Dynasty urn. Maximo Caminero, a Miami-based artist, was named in a police affidavit as the defendant. He told an officer that his act was a protest against the gallery's decision to only display international art. The police report states that Caminero picked up the vase before being advised to put it down by a museum official. He then dropped it in protest. He was charged with criminal mischief. Questionable protest. I, meanwhile, told CNN that he didn't have much reaction to the news, but said that he thought that a line should be drawn when it came to damaging public or private property as part of a protest. I can't have a show in Beijing, but I cannot go to museums to break work in Beijing, he said in a phone interview. My work is basically forbidden to be shown in China. The protest itself may be valid, but to damage somebody's work to do that is questionable. I say that he considered his work, specifically the triptych which shows him dropping an antique urn, to be very different. My work belongs to me, it doesn't belong to the public, and also it doesn't belong to somebody else. He said he believes he has been contacted by the gallery, but he isn't taking the loss too seriously. I don't really care much, and actually my work is often damaged in different shows, but it's fragile, so normally I don't take these things too highly. Damage is damage, if they have insurance, maybe it will be covered. Condemnation. The museum issued a statement concerning the incident, condemning Camaro's act. Although the museum can't speak directly to the intentions, evidence suggests that this was a premeditated act. A PAMM statement read, as an art museum dedicated to celebrating modern and contemporary artists from within our community and around the world, we have the highest respect for freedom of expression. But this destructive act is vandalism and disrespectful to another artist and his work, to Perez Art Museum Miami, and to our community. Camaro told the Miami New Times that it was a spontaneous protest, and that he lifted the vase and let it smash on the floor like Weiwei did in his picture, then waited for authorities peacefully and never resisted punishment. Hong Kong police on alert after China's sex industry crackdown. Hong Kong police plan to step up efforts against vice operations in the city following a massive crackdown on prostitution last week across the Chinese border, where police in Dongguan raided 2,000 establishments and detained more than 900 people. Senior Hong Kong police expressed fears that the Special Administrative Zone could fill the vice vacuum left after the raids by more than 6,000 police on the Chinese industrial city just 60 miles to the north. Commissioner of Police Andy Zheng Wai Huang Hong told local media that the police would be stepping up operations against the sex trade, adding that proliferation of vice in the territory was a concern following the crackdown. There is definitely potential for the sex trade to suddenly grow quickly here, but it won't just be confined to a rise in prostitution. A senior Hong Kong police office told the South China Morning Post. It will bring with it all the usual vice that goes with it. Narcotics, money laundering, trade protection. Triad protection. The Chinese Ministry of Public Security on Sunday ordered police across China to step up efforts to tackle the three vices: prostitution, gambling, and drug trafficking, warning officials that they would be held accountable for illegal activities. While Dongguan, situated between the large population zones of Shenzhen and Guangzhou, has long been associated with prostitution. It is known as China's Sin City. China's Ministry of Public Security has indicated it will not limit the crackdown to the city. and that the operations will also target officials benefiting from the trade. Be resolute with the crackdown no matter who is involved, and regardless of what official ranks they are at, with no leniency or soft-heartedness, the ministry said in a post on its website over the weekend. Dongguan Deputy Mayor and Police Chief Yang Xiaogang was fired from his post last week, and 10 their senior police officers have been subject to range punishments in the wake of the raids. State media reported. Other provinces, including Gansu, 山东、广西, and Heilongjiang have conducted their own vice raids in recent days, indicating that the campaign has been directed from the central government. Dubbed the Exterminate Yellow campaign, a color in China associated with prostitution, the crackdown comes after a report by the national broadcaster CCTV on the sex industry in Dongguan. According to media reports stated by the English-language China Daily, Dongguan, with a large and shifting migrant population from across China, could have as many as 300,000 working in the illegal industry, despite harsh penalties for involvement. The nationwide clampdown on the three vices is the latest target for the government of President Xi Jinping, which promised a wide-scale crackdown on rampant graft when it came to power in 2012. Xi has also been behind an austerity drive to rein in extravagant spending, banning officials from serving exotic dishes such as shark fin soup at banquets. Anger over corruption has prompted a raft of mass incidents, an official euphemism for protest, worrying officials defending one-party rule. Last year, Xi vowed to crack down on both tigers and files, powerful leaders and lowly bureaucrats, in his campaign against corruption and petty officialdom. He started in his teens with just 14 US dollars. Now he's a 21-year-old paperback king. Award-winning entrepreneur Andrew Mupuya was just 16 years old when he decided to take on the world. That was back in 2008, when both of Mupuya's parents had lost their jobs and could only afford to cover his school fees. I had to get to my meat by my basic needs by myself. Remembers the Ugandan businessman. I decided to face the world alone. Inadvertently, the government of Uganda came to Mupuya's aid. At the time, officials in the country announced that they were considering a ban on plastic bags to curb environmental damage. Mupuya, who was still in secondary school, immediately saw this as an opportunity to launch a paperback production company. I conducted a feasibility study, market research around retail shops, kiosks, supermarkets around Kampala, and discovered there is need and potential market for paperbacks. To start out his small operation, Mupuya figured out he needed a capital of 36,000 Ugandan shillings, $14 US. He raised the first 11 US from selling 70 kilos of used plastic bottles he'd collected over 1 week. Mapuria then borrowed the remaining $3 US from his school teacher and embarked on his entrepreneurial journey for producing paper bags on a small scale. Since then, the business has grown extensively, and today, at the age of 21, Mapuria is the owner of Youth Entrepreneurial Link Investments, the first registered Ugandan company to make paper bags. The young entrepreneur employs 16 people who produce up to 20,000 paper bags each week. His long list of clients includes restaurants, retail stores, supermarkets, medical centers, as well as multinational companies like Samsung. Yearly has made about 1,000 niche bags for the local stores of the electronics company. Right now, I have 72 clients, says Mapuria. 90% of our clients always come back. Green impact. Mapuria's remarkable achievement and shrewd business skills have been recognized with a number of accolades in recent years. In 2012, Mapuria was the winner of the 30,000 US Anizisha Prize, a major award given to young African entrepreneurial leaders who take the initiative to address critical needs in their communities. The awards I have won give me courage to push on my business, says the young entrepreneur. It shows to me how I'm doing the right thing, and it helps me to find the impact I'm creating. Uganda has attempted to ban plastic bags in bid to deal with its acute waste management problem and promote environmental conservation. Yet they are still used in Kampala and often block drainage systems or collect in heaps on the side of the road. Mapuria, however, believes Ugandans will eventually choose paper over plastic, and he even plans to build a recycling operation. A paper bag is eco-friendly. It can easily decompose, he says, but plastic bags take too long, so that is the difference. Just a start. For now, Mapuria sources his paper from Nairobi, the capital of Kenya. His business is housed in Kasokoso, a slum just outside Kampala's bustling city center. Here, everything is done by hand and with precision. Yearly employees turn out thousands of bags daily, cutting the paper manually and then folding it and gluing it appropriately. But this takes time, and as customer numbers grow, the team cannot keep up with the increasing orders. Mapuria says one of the biggest challenges for its startup right now is supply and demand. It needs time to produce the right quality and quantity to all clients because it's run manually. He says it's quite hard to catch up with some clients who are used to cheap plastic bags, adds Mapuria. My next step is get a machine because I'm only able to supply 5% of the demands I have. Yet, Mapuria says that this is a problem that most clients understand, pushing him to keep thinking big and press ahead with his plans to promote environmental conservation. My vision is to have a cleaner Africa by eradicating use of plastic bags and emphasis on paper recycling. He says, I dream of having a big planet where I'm able to supply paper bags all over Africa, adds Mapuria, putting emphasis on sensitizing about environmental conservation. So I believe this is just the start.